Care if I raise this up, Linda? Good afternoon, everyone. Linda, thank you so much for the nice introduction, the kind, warm thoughts that you have. Thank you for all that you do for the community as a whole. Without question, ladies and gentlemen, Linda Scarab is one of the hardest working people that I have ever met. So Linda, thank you for your leadership here at the Chamber as well. It's been a long time since I've been on this stage, but it's truly a wonderful opportunity to be here. I believe in the Chamber of Commerce so much and appreciate the work that each and every one of you all do to help this community. A sign of a great community is a strong and prosperous Chamber of Commerce. And Bobby, I appreciate the work that you do. I appreciate and just want to congratulate you, your board of directors, your staff, the ambassadors, the Chamber membership as a whole for all that each and every one of you all do for this community. I also want to thank TTAI for the sponsorship of today's luncheon. TTAI is truly a regional leader. Stacy, please take back to Donnie Slagle and the team. We appreciate everything that you all are doing, not just for this community, but in truly the Lake Cumberland and the Cumberland Valley region as a whole. And we appreciate you giving the opportunity to Sky Hope and Bethany House to share their story because they are really doing some good things also. But friends, it is so good to be with you and share a few thoughts about our startup organization that we refer to as SPEDA. However, first and foremost, and somewhat on a personal level, some of you have heard me say this before, but I do want to say it again, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I am so very grateful for this opportunity. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to lead and guide this new entity. I absolutely love Somerset and Pulaski County. As Linda mentioned, I'm a 7th generation Pulaski Countyan, and there is literally nowhere else in this world that I would rather live nor raise my family. I'm so passionate about this community, and I pledge to each and every one of you that I will continue to advocate for and to promote and to try to lay the foundation for many more generations to come. I can also pledge that I will not be outworked, I will not be out-hustled, and without question, I will give my all to this cause. That said, I would be remiss if I didn't thank a few folks before we start to talk shop here today. Primarily, I want to thank Mayor Alan Keck and Judge Steve Kelly. Gentlemen, I just want to thank you for your leadership and the way in which you conduct yourselves on a daily basis. You know, folks, several months ago, they buckled up and they said the status quo is not working. Our economic development efforts have been somewhat stale and stagnant for close to a decade, and as Mayor Keck so infamously says, to get things done, you got to get things done. So SPEDA was brought to fruition, and I thank both of those gentlemen for that. I commend you guys for your determination, your persistence, as well as your willingness to work together on so many levels. My friends, just the symbolism of these two gentlemen sitting beside one another speaks volumes about our community as a whole, and it's going to help create a uniting force to move this entire community forward together. I'd also be remiss if I did not thank our fiscal court, our magistrates, and our Somerset City Council. I want to thank each and every one of them for their public service. I see day in and day out the work that they do. I appreciate them allowing me to attend their meetings on a regular basis, and I want to wish them the very best as well. Secondly, I want to thank Jessica Carlton for joining the SPEDA team. She has been just a tremendous asset to me and to the board. Her financial and accounting understanding, her business acumen, along with her work ethic and great personality, has just been a tremendous boon for our organization. Thirdly, the SPEDA Board of Directors. I want to thank each and every one of you all here today for your leadership. I do not believe that there's an organization in Kentucky that has as engaged as a board on a day-to-day basis as SPEDA has right now. And our board is not self-appointed. And that's a good thing, my friends, because each member is appointed by the mayor or the judge, which brings accountability to our citizens, brings accountability to the taxpayer. And each and every one of our board members, they just bring a high level of expertise and energy, and most importantly, passion. My friends, passion cannot be taught, it cannot be bought, and it sure can't be faked. And that passion means so much. And last and certainly not least, I want to thank my lovely wife, Courtney, for being here today. It is through her love and support and her doing what she does that allows me to do what I do. Also, one of the biggest joys of my life, my oldest daughter, Charleston, that Linda mentioned. She just turned 10, getting ready to start 5th grade. tomorrow, as a matter of fact, at Pulaski Elementary, but she is a joy and an inspiration to me. And two surprise visitors, guests that we have, my mom and dad, Frankie and Sherry Girdler. I want to thank each of them. Many of you know my mother, Sherry Girdler, is a retired educator, and my dad, I like to refer to him as a retired race car driver. I hope that each of us have heard that old song, I was country before country was cool. Well, Dad was NASCAR before NASCAR was cool. But thank you all so much for your all's love and support. Now, let's talk shop a little bit. I hope that each of you have heard about SPEDA. We are a 6-month-old organization, and we are an acronym for Somerset-Pulaski Economic Development Authority. We are looking at economic development truly through a bright and shiny new lens. Economic development is so much more than going out and building a warehouse and hoping that someday an industry may come and move in. Economic development is the process by which a community improves the economic, political, and social well-being of its people. Of course, we're going to continue to focus on industrial recruitment, but we're going to take it to the next level, and we're going to be very aggressive in doing so. However, we're going to expand our outreach to include job retention, retail and commercial development, arts and culture, tourism marketing and promotion, workforce development, education, and really an overall community planning, big picture thought process. Basically, SPEDA is an organization that wants to fill voids, wants to fill gaps, and help our community connect the dots. And really, it's to improve the overall quality of life. At the end of the day, our overall goal is to improve the quality of life and quality of place. We've all heard the old analogy that all ships in the harbor rise with the tide, and that is our overall goal. As Linda stated in the introduction, basically anything that relates to business creation, expansion, retention, and attraction. Now, we are looking at economic development as a holistic approach, kind of a big umbrella, if you will, but we have two main pillars upon which we stand. The first one being the pillar of existing business and job retention. Our existing business is our number one pillar. Folks, a study that I recently read shows that 70% of all economic development comes from an existing business choosing to expand within the community in which it already operates. And to help in this, we're going to be launching several new endeavors. These endeavors have never been undertaken before in this community that are going to assist our current employers, communicate, train, and ensure that there's consistent dialogue, regular training, regular visits from SPEDA, and interaction within the community. And I will be announcing several of those initiatives just shortly. But we must take care of our own first and foremost in order to create a thriving environment. You know, as Linda mentioned as well, I come from the business world. And I always said that a happy customer is going to be the best salesperson in the marketplace. The same holds true in economic development. A happy business is going to be your best salesperson to a potential business looking to relocate into our community. Number two, some of you, I see some faces out here that have heard me say this before in a few speaking engagements. I recently read an article in the Wall Street Journal and the USA Today, and it definitely bears repeating, where 71% of the youth in America, 71%, ages 17 to 24, do not qualify to serve in the U.S. military. 71% of the youth in America do not qualify to serve in the U.S. military. Now, that is a very staggering and sobering statistic, or at least it should be for all of us. Now, whether that's physical, behavioral, or educational problems, which is what that is attributed to, that is a problem that we are seeing, a societal issue being reflected in our workforce that we're seeing nationwide. Because we can all tell stories. I look around at so many of the business leaders here in this room, many that I have talked to at length about this, and we can all tell stories about how the workforce nationwide has diminished over the last 10, 15, and 20 years. We recently hosted, back in May, some out-of-state site selection consultants from Chicago and Dallas. These are people that travel the country and the world trying to help their clients, which are corporations and businesses, looking to relocate into certain communities. When we hosted them, one of the things that they emphasized was that the old equation was location, location, location. They said in today's world, the main equation is workforce, workforce, workforce. So in that light, having a qualified and dedicated workforce is a major component of industry recruitment, business retention, and recruitment. And my friends, we must work hand in hand. We must work hand in hand with our educational and workforce development institutions to ensure that we are meeting the demands of the business world. We must improve and enhance current programs and even create new ones. And without question, folks, we must be very aggressive in doing so. And I can tell you this, we've already faced some pushback. And I predict we may face a little bit more, but that's okay. That's part of the growing pains that we must go through as a community. And we are going to improve our workforce, and we're going to answer the call of our existing industries. I want to give this example and kind of see what you all think. And in discussions on one program change, we were told that, Chris, we've been doing it this way for 17 years, and I don't see any need in changing it. Now, I ask all of you all, if something has been done the same way for 17 years, but conditions have only gotten worse rather than better, what do you do? I hope that we can all agree that changing course is the right decision to make. And you all will hear me repeat this over and over and over. It is not our job to appeal to the lowest common denominator. It is our job to raise it. And one other item I have to make mention of is the importance of education. You heard me mention that my mother is a retired educator. It's something that she drilled into my head over the years. We must, all of us, must always seek knowledge. We must all continue to try to grow ourselves intellectually. However, as Mark Twain once said, I will not allow my schooling to stand in the way of my education. In that vein, we must acknowledge that a 4-year college bachelor's degree is not for everyone. We have somehow stigmatized society where some feel that they are a failure if they do not obtain a 4-year college degree. And quite frankly, my friends, nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, some of the greatest financial failures that I've ever witnessed in my life is where somebody goes into tens of thousands of debt in student loan debt, sometimes hundreds of thousands in student loan debt. They graduate with that bachelor's degree, unable to find a job using their degree, and if they are, they're unable to make enough money in which to pay back the student loan on top of all of life's other living expenses that each and every one of us face on a day-to-day basis. So, we must promote and raise awareness of some of the wonderful training and certificate programs, along with the tremendous high-earning careers in the technical field that are available. And I'll be making some announcement on that just shortly. But we're going to be engaging the community like never before seen. And I hope that a year from now, no one in this room and no one in this community will ever have to ask, what is SPEDA or what does it do? A wise man once told me, Chris, plan your work and work your plan. And that's what we're doing at our organization right now. And we intend to be able to unveil quite a few more things in the very near future. And we're going to prove that we can do more with less. Now, before announcing some of our endeavors, programs, and new projects, I would like to use this opportunity to unveil our new website, our logo, and our social media. And we are truly so excited to have this opportunity to unveil this here at the Chamber of Commerce Luncheon. And we hope that you all are remotely as excited as we are to be able to share this with you. First and foremost, I just have to thank Julie Harris and her firm at Print and Pixel for their hard work, their vision, and their oversight, helping us to craft everything. Julie is a neighbor and friend to many of us right here, and she's doing amazing work in Somerset. We worked hand in hand with Julie and Jesse and their team, really trying to figure out what it is that we want to communicate as an economic development engine here. And so with the help of words, thoughts, ideas, and feedback, we were able to develop a brand that I'm really excited to share with you today. And I would like to respectfully ask if you could please turn your attention to the screen. You know, we first came up with the hypothetical question, why not Somerset? We discussed this as an option, and we really like this statement. It is direct and compelling. It kind of has just the right amount of sass. But later we realized that this has the potential to cause some trouble in today's volatile social media climate, as a rhetorical question could prompt a critical response. So kind of looking through a public relations lens, we began to explore what happens if we take the negative word out of that question and we try to answer it with a direct, compelling statement instead of asking it. And we came back with, why Somerset? Now, some of the words that we felt described our organization are as follows, and they answer that question. Bold. We want to take bold action in economic development, and we want to do it boldly. We want to make a powerful statement that Somerset and Pulaski County is emerging as a place to do business in Kentucky. Vibrant. Our community is beautiful. It is full of vibrant scenic views, but it's also full of vibrant, interesting people. And that makes the experience here so much more valuable. Innovative. We constantly look for new strategies that will strengthen our community and its economic presence, and we will be the easiest place in America in which to do business. Growth-oriented. Now, we don't want to be the next New York City, but we would be okay with what some of us have termed as a souped-up Mayberry. We want the appropriate growth for Somerset and Pulaski County so that it is the best place that it can be for all of us to live, work, and play. We want to grow smart, and we want to be modest in that growth. Collaborate. We are working together on initiatives that will strengthen business development here, and that, quite honestly, is as attractive for a potential new business than anything else that we have to offer. United. We not only work together on initiatives, we are all marching toward a common goal and making Somerset and Pulaski County strong for our citizens and attractive for others considering relocating. So, what is the common thread among all of these words? What does a community have to have in order to be all of these things? Somerset and Pulaski County now has it. We are moving forward in economic development because of one major shift, and that is leadership. And what do you think about when you think of leadership, of a good leader or leaders? Visually, this represents a person or object out in front of other people who may be headed in different directions, pulling them towards the center and pulling them forward to a common goal. Leaders are nonconformist. They inspire, they motivate, they deliver on their vision. They're bold, innovative, growth-oriented, and all about unity. Leaders are moving forward together, always pushing forward, always advancing. So why Somerset? Because Somerset leads. We now have leaders in our community who are making a difference. They're working together, they're affecting change, and they are making business about people. And for that reason, when companies and industries learn about the environment that's being fostered here, they will want to be a part. And with that, we see our new domain name, somersetkyleads.com. And folks, when visitors come to our website, our social media pages and channels, along with receiving our print collateral, they will learn exactly why Somerset leads. And to help tell this story, we were able to take some pictures of many of our local treasures and advantages, as well as a short intro video that I would just be absolutely honored and so grateful to be able to show you here today. If you all would be patient with us, we want to pull that up and let you view this. This is truly the unveiling. Thank you all so much for that applause. I have to commend Somerset's own Tyler Whitaker for his extreme talent that he brings to the table and the great work that he did on that particular piece. I would also like to urge each and every one of you on our website to please sign up there, give us your email addresses, let us be able to keep you updated on the various things that we're doing, and we're going to be, we'd be overloading you over the next few months, quite honestly. But also please like our social media page that is up there right now on the screen as well. But now that you know who we are, let me tell you a little bit about what we've been doing over the last several months. Now, as many of you know, in addition to basically starting up an organization from scratch, we were also transitioning out our predecessor organization and ensuring moving forward that we were able to maintain a clean slate and be able to close out other various entities properly. You know, upon forming SPEDA, Judge Kelly and Mayor Keck, they gave us a directive. They told us to work hard, to demonstrate how to do more with less, to be transparent in all of our actions, and to be able to quantify our actions. In that realm, I want to emphasize that this is only the beginning of our strict oversight, our proper management, the hard work and long hours that go into making sure that we are achieving the best value for our citizens and our taxpayer dollars. Just in the last few months, we have identified several ways in which we are saving, literally folks, hundreds of thousands of dollars per year, as opposed to what our predecessor organization was paying. Through savings on rent, utilities, mowing, and pest control bids alone, we have saved $58,000 per year. We are proving that we are being good stewards of our fellow citizens and our taxpayer money. A major savings has also been realized on an annual basis in employee salaries and payments in comparison to our predecessor organization. Last year, the Old Development Foundation salaries and employee pay was $398,000 per year. SPEDA annual salaries and employee pay on an annual basis is $151,000. This is an annual savings, my friends, of $247,000 per year. Adding this to the other annual savings that I stated earlier, one can see that very clearly in just a few short months, we have identified well over $300,000 in annual savings. Now that, my friends, is doing more with less. That is answering that directive. And I want to tell you a little bit about what else we've been doing. Some of you all have heard about the stage at the Judicial Center. The Somerset-Pulaski Chamber of Commerce leadership class of 2017 had an absolutely wonderful idea to put a roof on the stage at the Judicial Center, bring into that lighting, sound equipment, AV, audio, all those things that would make a magnificent showpiece to be able to help in our downtown revitalization efforts. We're excited to announce that SPEDA is going to be partnering with the leadership class of 2017, along with Mayor Keck and City Council, Judge Kelly and Fiscal Court, to be able to bring this through to fruition and make it a reality. It is going to prove that you can promote a community as an art and entertainment district, and we can enhance quality of life through that. We anticipate being able to have this stage in place by Mayor Keck's October Moonlight Festival, and we are so excited about that endeavor. We are also going to be announcing a mini grant series. Through savings realized through our oversight and our management, we want to put that money that we're saving back into the hands of the community, back into the hands of the business world in which that community came from, or that money came from. So we're going to be releasing a mini grant series where we are going to award 2 startup businesses as well as 2 existing businesses on an annual basis with cash grant awards. This will continue to help encourage that entrepreneurial spirit among all of our own, and I'm real excited to get that information out to those who might have an interest in applying for that. Now, how many have heard about the Virginia Theater possibly being renovated? It's something that's been discussed in this community for a long time, and SPEDA is going to be partnering, helping to fund a study to once and for all see that this project is completed and to create ways in which it can be sustainable and to help improve the overall quality of life. As you can see in an improved downtown community, when you see a downtown thriving, that reverberates throughout the entire community. And again, arts and culture is a major component of economic development. Now, this may not sound like much, but it's a game changer. We're going to be building an overflow tractor-trailer truck lot at the Valley Oak Industrial Park. You know, when I first was able to fill this job, fill this role, one of my first meetings was with Donnie Slagle at TTAI and Devin Reynolds out at Hendrickson. And it became immediately clear that a major issue at Valley Oak Industrial Park is the immense amount of tractor trailer trucks that are coming in and out of there on a daily basis. Over 1,000 trucks per week are coming in and out of there. It creates a horrible congestion problem, a lot of safety hazards and the like. It, quite frankly, was an issue that the can had been kicked down the road for far too many years. So we've accepted bids on a new tractor trailer lot to be built out there for those shipping and receiving. Gives them a place to go, waiting on their queue time to be called in to either pick up or deliver what they're bringing in and out. This will be complete hopefully this fall, and again is another example of us meeting the needs of our existing businesses. We're also launching an Industrial Leaders Quarterly Breakfast. Starting next week, we're going to roll out the first of our quarterly breakfast series where we're going to host many of our largest employers, along with those in the educational and workforce field, the utility industries and the like, because we want to ensure that we are hearing the concerns of those in the industrial world, those in the business world, and then what's more important is holding ourselves accountable and making sure that we are answering those concerns. We're also thinking outside the box. This is one of those announcements that, again, we'll be bringing some more information on this in the near future, but we're going to be partnering with the Pulaski County Detention Center. Many of you know our jailer, Anthony McCullum. He's doing outstanding work, and he is so passionate about helping those who are incarcerated prepare themselves for re-entry into the workforce upon their release. So SPEDA is going to be partnering with Jailer McCullum. We're going to be partnering with Somerset Community College Workforce Development Director Elisa Johnson and Greg Coker Development, who is actually here today as well. We're going to be instituting a soft skills training program that's going to help those inmates within our jail that'll give them the ability to learn and prepare themselves to prosper in life upon their release. Also a really good thing, if the inmates complete this program, it will help them possibly receive 30 days off their sentence for good time served. And this is just one step of a great program, and we are actively looking for ways to integrate technical training programs and job search opportunities for those who are behind bars. My friends, we owe this to them. We owe this to society as a whole with the reentry, and we have to do our best to help improve their lives and, again, in turn, the community as a whole. We heard from Sky Hope here today. We're also in discussions with some of our drug rehabilitation centers to help the residents of those centers, upon graduation, help them prepare for re-entry into the workforce and to be a productive member of society. Again, we owe that to our community, we owe that to them, and we owe that to each other. We've talked about, and Judge Kelly mentioned in his speech a couple months ago, about a new industrial park. Working in conjunction with Judge Kelly and the fiscal court, we're going to be executing a purchase agreement to obtain 190 acres east of Somerset. This will come to fruition in the very near future. We are already undertaking all of the Phase 1 environmental work as well as the various development work that's going to take place there. We're going to be working with Mayor Keck and the City Council to ensure that we're able to run city utilities to this site to make that a good attraction, and there are going to be more announcements to come in the very near future for that industrial park that we are also excited about. Soft skills training. We're going to be working hand in hand with our existing companies and industrial leaders to institute a regular soft skills training program. SPEDA is going to lead in this engagement, make it available to all of our companies on a regular basis. One of the best in the business, Mr. Greg Coker, who's here with us today, will be leading that up. Hospitality training. Bobby, I see you looking at your watch. I'm going to keep moving as quickly as I can. Hospitality training. SPEDA is going to be partnering with Michelle Allen, Leslie Eichert, and many of our tourism professionals to institute a regular hospitality training program for all of our frontline employees. We all know that tourism is our #1 industry. It's the 3rd largest industry in Kentucky. So it's imperative that our frontline employees at our hotels, our gas stations, our restaurants, they have the access to the proper training to help make sure that our community is able to put its best foot forward for our visitors, that they have a great experience, and they go and tell people about their visit here. Adventure tourism. In addition to our beautiful Lake Cumberland, which we are so proud to be the capital of the Lake Cumberland region, but in addition to our beautiful lake, we have so many tourism-related endeavors that one can do here. SPEDA recently partnered with Pulaski Fiscal Court, the Boy Scouts, and so many more different organizations to create the Buck Creek Blue Water Trail. Conferences and conventions. We're here in the Center for Rural Development. For years, people said we couldn't host conferences and conventions because our community was not wet. Love it or hate it, that box has been checked. People said we couldn't host conventions because we did not have an adjoining hotel. That box has been checked. SPEDA is engaging with the center and others throughout Kentucky to incentivize and attract organizations to come here. Actually, just this past May, SPEDA hosted the Kentucky Association of Economic Development for their largest conference ever in the history, over 240 visitors right here in Somerset, Kentucky. We have since that time helped in hosting over 10 other organizations with more to come. In fact, we are currently working on 2 upcoming events. I want to make mention of the work ethics seal. As I stated earlier, we're going to be looking for ways in which we can enhance and improve existing programs. One such program in our schools is the Work Ethics Seal, which is a part of being considered a work-ready community, which we want to be able to keep that established title. But we're working with our schools to raise the bar, to overload our students with the soft skills that they need to succeed in the real world. We want to broaden their exposure to the Kentucky FAME program and so many other technical programs moving forward. Folks, I could keep going, but for the sake of time, I'm going to digress. I hope that you're as excited as we are. This is truly just the beginning. I can promise you that there are many more announcements to come in the very near future, and we will prove to the world that we are the easiest place in America in which to do business. As I said, I hope that you are as excited as we are, and I hope that you are as committed as we are. In that realm, I want to just say this in closing. I want to reiterate that we are making business about people. Our people are our biggest asset. Our people are our competitive advantage. And each and every one of you are difference makers in this community and in this world. But it takes one thing: cooperative spirit, community collaboration. It takes one thing. It takes all of us working together. As Henry Ford once said, if everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. And we can starve together, or we can feast together. And my friends, I say that we feast together. With our society today, we are dealing with a culture of contempt. Let's stand out as a community. Let's build each other up rather than tear each other down. Let's maybe sleep on things before we type them into a social media outlet. Let's give serious thought to spending our time doing community service and engagement rather than spending endless hours scrolling through our phones. We will be amazed at what can be accomplished and the positive vibe that will result. Disagreement can be a good thing, but as I've said for years, let's agree to disagree with love and humility. And I want to leave you with a memento of today's message. Some of you may see what I can refer to as little foam squishy people. Some of you may have been wondering what this was for. It's representative of each one of us. One by itself cannot reach very far. But if you start connecting them to one another, their reach will expand immensely. And that is reflective of us as a community. It's what can be accomplished if we work together and if we reach for the stars. If enough of us are connected, if enough of us are working together, my friends, the sky is absolutely the limit. So ladies and gentlemen, my fellow citizens, let's move this community forward together. As I said in the video, in Somerset and Pulaski County, we are not just laying bricks, we are building cathedrals. And at SPEDA, we are making business about people. Thank you so much for the opportunity to lead this organization. I hope that God will continue to bless our community and our Commonwealth. Let's be the best version of ourselves. Let's live by our state motto, united we stand, divided we fall. We're going to do some great things together, my friends. Thank you all so much for this opportunity, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you all. Godspeed.
You know I have to read this.